All right, maybe we're back. Hello. Attempt number 2. I don't know whether we have anybody else. Did anybody make it through the call there? I see there's 4 people on the YouTube page. So hopefully a few of them can come back. But if anything, it makes perfect sense. Somebody decided that maybe maybe we're back. Giving away a little bit too much information here today. But I actually just had a request of the audience, and it's important that YouTube hears this. Number 1, if Brian mysteriously passes away or becomes incapacitated, unequivocally, I am on a mission from my wife from the other side, and I'm not going to leave until this mission is complete. And I don't know what the hell complete looks like, but I have no plans whatsoever of committing suicide. So if I do happen to disappear, it was because of nefarious activities. So please, everybody, first and foremost, just like Mr. McAfee, I have absolutely no plans whatsoever of taking my own life. So if I happen to go, then you know that it was by nefarious means. Mm. Okay, let's see. And maybe that's the way. Hold on a second. Let me. I'm just gonna hit the button. Let's see what happens. All right. So now Brian's trying to broadcast on OBS. It says I'm live, so be curious to see whether this actually works or not. Let's just jump right into the Q&A. And thank you, Andre. Appreciate that. Probably won't get you very far. All I just want everybody to know and just pass the message on. I have no intention whatsoever of taking my own life. And more importantly, what I really wanted to convey, so actually it's kind of cool I'm recording because now I can see that it'll go through, is forget it. Let's just go on to the questions. What a headache. Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the edutainment. Okay, so I guess those were the questions that were asked last week. I'm not quite sure or answered. Okay, so let's go on to this one. So with your view of interest rates rising, how high can they actually go over the long term? 10 to 30 years, with governments, corporations being at all-time highs of debt levels. Seems like they were at a point where rates can't rise any higher due to the fact they will hinder themselves. Yeah, I totally agree. What I've said repeatedly is this is what's going on. So, as any good technician, ironically enough, if you want price objectives, let's pull up a price chart. Let's do some technical analysis. So, am I expecting interest rates to go back to double digits? No. The economy couldn't handle that. Am I expecting a quote unquote normalization of interest rates? Absolutely. So that's the process that I think that's going on here. Whoever asked this question. You want to tell me something, Brian? Oh, wow. Isn't that interesting? Oh, Cheryl says acreage in Alabama. Was that the comments that were posted a while ago? Or did you guys just say that? Anyway, so this is an image of 10-year U.S. Treasury yields. And I think it's pretty straightforward. Bullish bot wants to take us up to 2.5%, which I think on balance for a long bond would be healthy. Again, remember Francis asked about where are we in the cycle. Francis, can you go up and pull up for me what was the average of the 10-year U.S. Treasury through the 1940s? My hunch is it's probably right around that 2.5%. That would be normal. If you were trading this beautiful bot setup, you can see Foggenbaum sitting up there at Mountain Man at about 2.18, probably 2.2. And that would make sense too, because 2.25%, I think that's a really important psychological level. If we go above 2.25%, then we're starting to think about, 2, 3, 4, 5% kind of idea. But if we're below 2.25%, we're still sort of thinking, okay, it's around 2%. That's not terribly high. So it doesn't surprise me that there's probably going to be a bit of a pivot around there. And then, this could be an A, B, C, D, or it could be what they call an alt A, B, C, D, which can go all the way up to 1.272. As well, it can go all the way up to 1.618. So 1.272 alt A, B, C, D, that takes us up to 2.8%. And notice, hey, there's a Foggenbaum level up there. And then if all hell really breaks loose, and we know there's some serious problems in the credit market, which frankly I think we will see, but that's here nor there. There's 3.25%, and that's those old sort of market, like here's like 2018, 2019. So that was before sort of the crisis du jour was manufactured. And then, here is 2013, 2014. And, yeah, you can see that also this level came into play here. To a certain lesser degree, these lows, that low. So my hunch is if all hell breaks loose here in the short term and we get ourselves into some real problems, then we're probably talking 3.5%. And there's, Mungenbaum, I think we call 877s. He's sitting up there at about 4.16%. And that would be, if we got up to that 4% on the long bond, that would be sort of your question, whoever asked this, like, oh boy, these governments have some serious problems. So, how long does this take to play out? I actually think that, honestly, you could quite literally just replicate that. And that's going to be our, what is that? That's going all the way back to financial asset crisis. That's 14 years. So we go, boom. That's probably what the area that we're going to be in over the next 14 years. So there's your backdrop. It's pretty straightforward. This is the end of the next greed cycle. Then I think once we pass that, this is going to be like the days of Camelot, right in here. The Nifty 50. So if you want sort of, Francis, you were asking, what's a good historical comparison of what to expect going forward? Have you ever heard of oh, look at that. So Francis found it. It was roughly 2.3%. So, gee whiz. Can you guys see the similarities? That's actually really interesting, Francis. I'm glad you found that. Thank you. But I would just say that if you want a historical comparison, go and look at the Nifty 50. That's what they were called. And my hunch is Google's, all right, take it easy, Aaron. Google's, Facebook's, maybe not so much Facebook, who knows. But Amazon's, Netflix's, Microsoft's, all those guys, they are this generation's Nifty 50. So if you want Francis to answer your question earlier about expectations, whoever's asking about interest rates, I think that's basically your playground for the next 20 years. Right, so I hope that helps. Hey, we're back over here. How did I get over there again? 35 years ago. Wow, that's trippy. Oh, I guess I was on the wrong page. What a doofus. All right, let's try this again. Okay, so I hope whoever asked this question, I hope that answers your question. I don't know. If interest rates are rising much, should we be hunting short positions if possible on things like TLT? I wouldn't go TLT. That's probably not the trade. I like the idea of shorting the corporate debt market. I think that's probably more, like if I'm hearing that you're thinking like profit. Where is that? So if we go, what is it? What's the, I think there's one LQD. Investment grade corporate bonds. So these things are a little bit better quality. Let's see what they look like. That looks like that China chart. It's the same damn chart. So I think that this is where the actual trade was, right? But how ironic, eh? Are you coming in at a good timing to be shorting this now? I mean, there's the irony of all this. So actually, this trade's actually getting pretty old. There was also another one. What was the other one? Yeah, there's HYG. Check this one out. Oh, Jesus. That one doesn't look as bad as the LQG. But still, that doesn't look too good, does it? Oh, no. Do we even want to look at Canadian bonds? I don't even know. Is there such a thing as a Canadian corporate bond? Man, that would be an interesting index look. Like, I bet you that looks like a train wreck. But Canadian government bonds, this is their chart. And I put tweets out. I put messages. I was just like, oh my God, you better get the fuck out of these Canadian bonds. Do you think anybody listened to me? I doubt it. Especially when we have this counter trend rally, most people probably went, oh, that guy's full of horse shit. Why am I listening to him? I don't know. You tell me. Is that any kind of pattern or something we as technicians kind of pay attention to? I'll make it nice and easy for you. I go boobity-boo and boobity-shmoo. Looks like it's in free fall here, right? Wow, look at that. Oh, look at that. That would be perfect. Just going to tag that trend line right from the other side. Talk about wait for a W on the other side of a trend line, eh? Holy shit. No W's, no W's, no W's, no W's, no... Still no W's. No, still no W's. Where's the W? Isn't that incredible? There's no W's here. Anywhere. Oh, there you go. XCB. Oh, somebody found it. I'm almost afraid to see what this looks like. XCB. Canadian Select Growth. No. Oh, what is it? What did you say? XCB. B. There you go. Corporate bonds. Let's see what we got here. I'm almost afraid to look at this. Do we want to? Is it ugly? Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. So, oh God, writing's on the wall, folks. Look at that volatility. So, can you see why they went, oh, shouldn't we debate mortgaging our future? Shut the fuck up! We gotta get some money in there now! Get it in there now! Can you see that? I mean, that's what shut the fuck up looks like. Does that? And the funny thing is the Americans are not. Let me ask you this: do you think any American politician is going to endorse bailing out the Canadians? Do you think the Americans give a flying fuck about what happens north of Blaine, Washington? Have you ever been to Blaine, Washington? Actually, Grim, you ever been to Blaine? So my wife, I was telling Chris this before we got going. My wife had a funny story. They used to drive down to California, and Stan, Joanne's father, one time pulled over in Blaine, Washington. Oh, you like Blaine? That's interesting. Because this was back in the 1980s, and he pulled off the freeway, and he was just asking for directions, and he pulled up to some guy's house, and he came out with a shotgun. And he literally started firing the shotgun off, chasing Stan off of his property. So that's whenever I have a mental image of Blaine, Washington, that's what I think. And yeah, interesting. Larry says Blaine is now an absolute ghost town since Dickhead went and fucking closed the borders there. So that's interesting to tell. Yeah, well, indeed. I mean, it's very bizarre how you travel about an hour north of Seattle, and you would think you were out in the middle of fucking nowhere. You would think that you were in the middle of Alaska. Then you'd I mean, literally, there's nobody there. And then you just hit the Canadian border, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom! Civilization! So the Canadians got so civilized, I guess, that they even started to push into northern United States. So go figure. Yeah, I know, dude. We used to go down to Point Roberts. I don't know whether you know where Point Roberts is. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. You look at that Canadian bond chart. If anything, that's a really, really good example. Would you be bullish of Canadian bonds in that kind of environment? I don't know. What do you think? In fact, I should probably tweet that out. Oh, by the way, Canada, the shitty service at Tim Hortons, that's no accident. The fact that the customers literally want to get into fistfights in the lines, that's no accident. And, situation's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. Oh, God. So, there's your backdrop. Yuck. All right. I said I was going to do this for another 10 minutes. I guess we're probably going to have to go into tomorrow. I guess we'll call Monday's broadcast after Sjord done the BCS follow-up session. Because I don't know how I'm going to get through all this. But I hope that helped you. Like I said, if I was going to short, I'd rather short corporate bonds, but I think you're really late to the trade. The interest rates have already gone up. And you can imagine, I mean, Joe Six-Pack Canadian. Keep in mind, if we just zoom in, regardless of this, but, falling bond prices means rising bond yields. That means higher interest rates. Is this not going to start biting into consumers' pockets? Is this not going to start biting into, hey, I could go buy a house because interest rates are so low? No, they're not. Who told you that interest rates were low? And more importantly, how about the MMT people? Oh, money doesn't cost anything. Money's free. You can print all the money you want. Hello? No, it isn't. Oh, well. And the stupid idiots in Tim Hortons are actually sitting here. I swear that guy must have been planted. I couldn't believe these cocksuckers. They're not even talking about local economics. They're trying to get us to think about the third world. Fuck you. How about your home world? All right. Do you have a view on the short and medium term prospects for uranium? I mean, first and foremost, we just left a commodity cycle and we're entering in a growth cycle, which means that I have to be bearish in balance of commodities like uranium. Uranium is a commodity. So there's that. You're never going to get me to change that message. I live and die on that 35-year cycle. So we are not in a commodity bull cycle anymore. So just get used to that. As for the prospects for uranium, Fukushima did some serious damage to the whole sort of nuclear argument. Has it been long enough that people have forgotten about Fukushima? And do you start seeing things like public policy, the endorsement of building new nuclear power plants? So until we start actually seeing talk of new facilities being built, I'm skeptical. I do understand, of course, there could be an interesting environmental play here in that Greta is Greta. Oil prices, if they just keep getting bid up, then you're going to have a reactionary trade. Ironically enough, the only reason why people actually could justify the solar industry, and I remember there was a stock back in that 2000 market called First Solar. The only reason why they could justify its existence was because oil was, $100 a barrel. What's really scary, though, is what price does oil have to be today to actually equal $100 a barrel in sort of year 2002 terms, 2003 terms, 2004 terms, 2005 terms? I mean, I'm scared. And that's it. Go pull up your versus M2 money supply on your crude oil chart. You'll see the chart and you'll know what I'm talking about. I mean, oil might have to go to $500 a barrel here to equate to that old $100 a barrel level. And don't kid yourself, folks. That could very easily happen in this kind of environment. So that's the backdrop. In that backdrop, could you have energy proxies do well? I think so. So uranium will probably do okay as long as crude oil is pointing higher. As soon as crude oil tops out on a weekly basis, big old fat M in price, then I would say everything energy related is get the hell out. And of course, I've already told you I am bearish of Canada. Canada, to all intents and purposes, is an oil nation. And we have lots and lots of commodities. So by definition, me being bearish of Canada, me being bearish of Australia, me being bearish of Russia, me being bearish of South Africa, it's all the same argument. It's exactly the same thing. So I hope that helps answer your question. You guys got to put your names down here so I can speak directly to you. So I don't know whether you're the person who asked this question is here, so I'm just going to assume I did a great job answering the question, and let's move on. Number 4, because we are a discretionary trader doesn't mean we can act on our discretion. That's right. From what I understand from the definition online, that a discretionary trader is not what you are teaching in the course. No, it is what we're teaching. I mean, all a discretionary trader, I mean, look, we better back up a moment. What we should probably say here is a profitable discretionary trader. There are plenty of quote-unquote traders in cryptocurrencies that consistently lose money. And if you actually had them show you their account balance, you would find mysteriously they're actually losing money. So let's maybe first, we have to, I don't know whether you people understand this or not. And actually, in a weird sort of way at TRI, we're kind of spoiled. Because we just assume that you are going to be a profitable trader. But the irony of it all is that actually that's less than 5% of all people that call themselves traders. Most people can't do this job. So in a weird sort of way, it's not really fair to you that you have to go out and, okay, I'm going to go and look at Investopedia at what, Brian's talking about, because we live in this funny little bubble. Like, people in the real world don't do the stuff that we do. I mean, most people don't even work with a trading plan. They don't know what a trading plan is. So I think probably the most important thing you need to add here is profitable discretionary trader. Should we become discretionary traders or not? You are, whether you like it or not. You are, if you are, and just really the definition here is, if you open up your own brokerage account, if you have your own crypto account, if you did something like made your own decision to buy stock or a cryptocurrency, or even for that matter, a government bond, by definition, you are a discretionary trader. Remember, most people lose money at this game. So what we're really talking about is successful discretionary trading. I hope that clears that up. Is your definition the same as those online? Well, I mean, a discretionary trader, the words are, I trade at discretion, or I make the decisions of when I'm going to trade. You know, it'd be interesting. Grim, you passed the Top Step Combine, eh? Actually, we just have Craig in there. Fucking 2 days out of the gate, he's already got like 20-30% of his expected profits. I mean, the guy's just
he's doing awesome.
Kieran, I mean, what a fucking boss. He went through that. You know, you're a boss trader when you can go through Top Step and go, you know what? You guys are fun and all, but it's way easier just trading my own money. Like, you know, you're a successful trader when you can make that decision. My suggestion for you is follow the Top Step model, and you are only a successful discretionary trader when you actually pass all of their tests. And you get Nebraska, who actually says, all right, here's some of my money, go and have some fun.
You know, if you'll let me interject for a second, we had a long talk about this in today's level 1 session too. Something that's really interesting is, so my Forex funds just published a report that they did on like how traders are trading in their evaluation program, right? Uh-huh. And they noted that something like 80% of folks that started an evaluation did not become funded.
Yeah.
They also noted in there, and I think this is a real point, that of the traders that did get funded, 100% of them used stop losses.
Well, that's good.
But almost none of the traders that didn't get funded used stop losses, right? And so it's one of those things that, because one of the questions I got asked was, well, why doesn't everybody just do a prop firm? That seems like a no-brainer. And it's like, well, most people, the general public, aren't going to pass a combine. They don't know how to manage their risk. They don't know how to do the things that we're teaching people to do at TRI, right?
Sure.
So
the knee-jerk reaction I found as a broker was, hey, this is Brian's stock trading firm. What the fuck do you want? Hey, I heard about this thing that is going to go 10x tomorrow and I'd like to buy. Okay, fill out the account, deposit the check. All right, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Bring, next day. Okay, I want to buy. Okay, what's the price? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, I bought. Yeah, you're filled. Actually, that's my voice. Sorry. I got the people mixed up. You're filled. Way to go. All right. Now, anything else you want to look at? No, I'll just get back to my life. All right, stock cranks down 10-20%. Hey, Bob, that was Bob, by the way. Bob, your stock's off 20-30%. What do you want to do? Well, I was told that it was going to go up at 10x, so nothing. Okay, a week or two later. Okay, stock's down 50%. What do you want to do? No, quit calling me. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And, 9 times out of 10, you look at the fundamentals of those stories, and they're just horrible. Like, billion shares out, and, it turns out the directors that run it off with the treasury and shit. I mean, it's just, it's so cliche. So, yeah, the public doesn't understand the process. They haven't got a fucking clue about the process. And, if you get far enough, I'll show you the Demon Finder, or maybe we can talk about it on the Daily Brief show. There are a lot of ways to screw this up. So, yeah, what I've found is the guys who want to do this, they have some sort of internal passion. And they're just not going to give up until they have got all the fucking ways to fuck this up sort of mastered. Okay, I know not to do that. Okay, I don't do that. I know not to do that, right? And it's just one after the other after the other. I'm trying to save you some time with our teaching and stuff, but it almost, even if I teach people this stuff, they still have to go through making the mistake, and they go, yeah, I know, Brian, I know you told me not, but I had to learn from firsthand, and now I know for certain. You were right. It's just the way this stupid game goes. So anyway, but cool anecdotal information there, Grim. Thank you for the contribution. Okay, so hopefully we've addressed that. Number 5, do you have a CFA certificate? No. Well, what the hell do I need that for? Okay, that's nice and easy. Number 6, should we journal also in the days that we don't trade at all? Well, I'm going to say, again, it really all depends on how much you want this. Do you want it? The guys who want it, they're going to be here every fucking day, every minute. They're going to be working on their spreadsheets. They're going to be working on their journals. They're going to be looking at setups. They're going to be paper trading. There's constant stuff to do. Andrew probably looks at me and goes, I can't believe that guy's always in front of the computer, always working on charts. He's always doing shit. It's my passion. It's my life. What else would I do? You all know. In fact, actually, I got to get out of here. If it isn't the market and it isn't charts and it isn't talking to you guys, I'm with Liam. Other than that, do I journal and do I think about markets while I'm with Liam? I try not to, but every once in a while I do think of something and I have to stop myself and write something down. But I try really hard when I'm not, quote unquote, working not to work. But the weird thing is that you're always learning. And the really good learning stuff, it'll come at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You'll just wake up out of nowhere and go, oh, I never thought of that. Or you maybe had a dream about it, and you got to write it down and stuff. So, what I always ask is 3 questions. What did I see? Now, maybe you're not paying attention. So that day you go, well, I wasn't paying attention, so I really didn't see anything. What did I learn? Well, maybe I'm on vacation. I don't want to learn anything. Shut the hell up. Leave me alone. Okay, fine enough. How am I feeling? Well, you can always journal about how you're feeling. You don't have to be trading, but I'll tell you, the guy who actually gets in touch with how they feel internally, and it brings me to tears, folks. Because remember, and I don't want any of you to ever have to go through what I've been through. Is losing your life, or the love of your life, is that going to affect how you trade? Does that have anything to do with trading? Is it helpful for me to sit down with therapists and try and talk this out? How can you talk it out? Is there any solution? No, there's no solution. It's just part of this fucked up life. How do you deal with a son that will never go through the joys of falling in love? We'll never do things like get a driver's license. We'll never go to the prom. Does that affect me as a trader? You better believe it. Could I easily let those anxieties and those angers and those fears be reflected in my money management? Oh, yeah. I think I've told you guys before, I used to stand and look at a train that used to go over the tracks. The trains here in Vancouver are automated, so there isn't even a train driver. And I used to literally try and time when I was going to jump. Right? Just get the pain over with. For some fucking reason, God didn't want me to do that. He wanted me to come and be with you, all you here. And here I am. I can't explain any of it, but what I can tell you is there's no way I could be here today with you people if I didn't at least acknowledge the pain, acknowledge the feeling of hopelessness, I guess. It doesn't change it. Nothing will change, right? Nothing will change. But at least by me acknowledging that I'm hurting. This is 10 years later and I'm still hurting. It doesn't go away. But I cannot let this affect how I manage money. And that's what you have to learn. So you have to disassociate the two. Wow, that was heavy. Sorry, everyone. So I hope that helps. No, I don't have a CFA certificate. All right, 7. Should we journal now when we are still studying? Oh my God, yes. You were supposed to have been journaling. Grim, you got to do this in future. I'm sure you do. But you got to be journaling from like day 1 of your time here at TRI. And those journal entries from day 1 when you don't know what you're doing and you're dumb as fucks. That's incredibly valuable information. So yes.
Please notice how similar Brian's response was to mine when the same question was asked in class, guys.
Well, that's good.
We're not just making it up. It's huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
And the thing is I bet a guy asked this, and guys hate to fucking journal. Like, I'm there too, you know. I mean, I didn't buy into this shit when I first learned it, but I'm telling you, it makes all the difference. So. Okay, guys, I really don't want to be late for Liam. I'm not going to bathe today. I'm just going to go as is. So, well, no, actually, I think we better get out of here. Oh, man, that was emotionally draining. I really didn't want to go down that road. But if anything, do you guys believe that I'm straight goods here? I'm not trying to bullshit any of you. I don't care about the money. I really don't. We'll pick up this conversation tomorrow and on Tuesday. We'll try and get all these questions answered. Is there anything that's really good that you're asking lots of questions? Thank you, Andre. So, wish me all luck with Liam. I tell you, every time I do, he's always in good spirits. So, you must pick up on that karmic message. I think I'll leave it at that. PMA for the win. And if anything, I used to tell you, I used to feel the crosshairs from the Chinese sharpshooters across the building. Now I don't have any, but I'm starting to feel those crosshairs. I don't know where they're coming from now, but they're getting warmer. So anyway, all right, guys, have yourselves a great day. You know, the best thing I can have, I used to tell this to people actually before. You know, the absolute best thing you can possibly do for a guy like me, and really JoJo's dream, right, is if you feel like I'm not bullshitting, if you feel like, hey, at least this guy's trying to help, just tell a friend. Let's just spread the word. You can, I've said this repeatedly, you can come to TRI and do the 30-day trials, right, and milk us if you want. If that's what it gets you to the point where you're like, okay, fuck, man, I got some good value out of these guys and I didn't have to pay anything. You know, maybe at some point, 6 months, 8 months from now, you go, all right, maybe it's time for me to give back a little bit. I've made a couple bucks with some of the things that Brian was thinking here. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. So let's all just keep working. Try and make this place, this world a little bit better. It's incredibly difficult out there right now. If anything, I'm envious of you Americans, because now I think the equation's now flipped around, where basically the past 20 years Canada outperformed the States. Now I think it's time for the States to outperform Canada. So if you are Canadian, buckle down, try and pay off your debt as much as you possibly can. And PMA for the win, folks. Let's try and get all through this together in one piece. All right, everybody. Chris, if you could take us on out of here, I'd appreciate it, but I guess you can't because I'm recording. If you could maybe edit this up, yeah, look at that. We lost most of the viewers on the second and third attempt, but oh well. If you could edit this up and the link and stuff while I'm gone, I got to get out of here because I'm already going to be late for Liam. So take it easy, everybody. PMA for the win. All the best. Thanks, Grim, for popping in and saying a couple good words. And have yourselves a great day, everybody. All the best. And bye for now.